On October 22, 2012, meteorologists at the National Hurricane Center, NHC, a cement fortress in Miami, Florida, registered Tropical Depression 18 in the southwestern Caribbean Sea. The event was then just a line of thunderstorms moving across the turquoise water, but it represented a serious potential risk. Hurricanes and other weather-related events kill an annual average of hundreds of people and cause hundreds of billions of dollars in damages in the United States alone. The NHC, which is tasked with predicting the future risk of these low-pressure systems across the United States, jumped into action. It dispatched one of the Air Force's Lockheed Martin Super Hercules aircraft for observation. Despite all the data that streams in from geostationary satellites, as well as other land and water-based weather stations, flying an 80-ton airplane into a furious windstorm is currently still the best way to gather some information. In Miami, experts in meteorology, satellite data, and remote sensing pored over the reports and fed it into multiple hurricane forecast models that predicted the event's future direction and destructive potential. Many tropical depressions fizzle out, but the environment surrounding number 18, including warm waters and local atmospheric conditions, caused it to intensify rapidly with a defined circulating pattern and winds above 38 miles per hour. 61 kilometers an hour, thus earning it a name, Tropical Storm Sandy. Over the next few hours, Sandy's increasing wind speed and structure quickly took it to hurricane strength. The NHC issued warnings to Jamaica, Cuba, and other Caribbean islands in its likely path, saving lives and reducing damage while keeping an eye on potential risk to the United States. Well before Sandy made landfall in New Jersey on October 29, the NHC had released a continual stream of updates and warnings for areas likely to be impacted. The National Weather Service had issued watches, governors had declared states of emergency, and even mandatory evacuation orders for certain areas. All these advisories were picked up and spread by local police and emergency officials, television, newspapers, and social media. However, even mandatory evacuations are rarely enforced. Once the expert advice about Hurricane Sandy's risks reached residents, it was up to them to decide what to do. Many chose not to heed the warnings. 186 Americans died in the storm. A later Center for Disease Control and Prevention (CDC) report detailed the fatal consequences of ignoring official advice. The leading cause of death related to Sandy was drowning due to the storm surge and associated flooding, which accounted for nearly half of the fatalities. Of those drowning deaths, over half were people who died in homes located in primary evacuation zones. The result was that in 2012, more Americans drowned in their own homes than were killed during violent home invasions, sexual assaults, or carjackings. A decade later, on September 28, 2022, Category 4 Hurricane Ian tore into the southwest coast of Florida. Governor Ron DeSantis had declared a state of emergency 4 days earlier, and mandatory evacuation orders covered all or part of 12 counties. Once again, though, many people did not evacuate. Nearly 130 people died in Florida, many of whom, again, drowned near or in their houses located in evacuation zones. There is a wide range of circumstances that make it harder for certain people to evacuate. Some have physical or mental disabilities, some don't have transportation, others simply can't afford to leave. But there are also large numbers of people who remain in the path of storms by choice. Hurricanes are known killers. So what leads those in mandatory evacuation zones to decide against following the expert advice intended to save their lives?